What's going on, everybody? It is Fatty back in here with Brian Phyllis talking another 216 pregame show. Browns versus Bills. We will recap the Bears here in a little bit. I do have to give a couple shout outs today. I got to thank the 3 Spot last week. What a great place. Everybody was completely awesome there. Food was fantastic. And I got to watch my friend Brian just completely melt down at the bar. And I'm pretty sure if he could have ripped that bar top off, which would have been amazing for me to see. But it was mostly the entire game. I'm looking at the entire game going like this. I'm like, oh, look at that. There's another one. And then straight over to Brian just to see his reaction. So, and if you didn't see his reaction, we did do a TikTok live and he shut it off about halfway through the second quarter and said, we're not doing this shit anymore. What's going on, buddy?
You about summarized exactly how I'm feeling right now. So, that was a brutal game to watch. Let's be honest, the team didn't do him any favors, but Shador didn't play very well either. So I'll just get that Band-Aid ripped off here, and I'm sure we'll recap it in further detail, and we'll talk about all the other fun things that have happened this week with other teams holding people accountable and our team not doing so, and a lot of just fun action happening around the NFL, right? How are you feeling today, buddy?
Hey, it is a beautiful, sunshiny, 20-degree day out here in Cleveland. At least it's not snowing. Sun's out there, and I did see the forecast for Christmas. Dude, it's going to be 50 for Christmas up here. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, I mean, I'll take 50. Don't get me wrong. So, be a great day. Today's matchup, I do know that Top Dog Tailgate has got the Bills Mafia in town there. They do a huge tailgate down there with them. You start on time today? Yes, I did start on time today. Browns are going to win because of that. I don't think they're going to win because of that, Justin. I'm sorry, buddy. But we do have a special guest joining us today. He is from Gametime 216 on Monday and Tuesdays at 2:16, or Monday and Wednesdays at 2:16 p.m. You can catch him here on Network 216. We got to bring in our friend Bobby G. He's going to be talking some stuff with us. What is going on, Bobby? How you doing?
What up, fellas? What a beautiful morning for a frustrating afternoon, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be fantastic today. I am loving every minute of this. You'll find out later in my 3-pick parlay coming up. You're going to love the sound of that one. It's going to be heavy with somebody else. But, Bobby, thank you for joining us today. We're going to recap the Browns and Bears, and then we are going to get into the Bills game. Now, Browns and Bears game, oh, my God. It did not start out great, and it just did not go anywhere from there. I remember the opening kickoff. I looked at Brian. I said, they're going to return this for a fucking touchdown. And Brian looked at me and goes, bullshit. And they returned it all the way to the 50. I was sitting there cheering for the touchdown just so I could just stomp all over everybody. But didn't happen, but special teams sucked again. Offensive line was horrible again. And our defense gave up 31 points to DJ Moore. Oh, and gave up almost, 200 yards rushing. So that was fun to watch, too. So, guys, let's get your thoughts. Now, Brian, I'm going to give it to Bobby first because he is the guest. Bobby, what was your thoughts on the game last week? And give us some pointers that you thought, possibly were good out of this.
For me, I saw what I needed to see. I know the Shadorians out there. And I'm going to die on the hill that I created the word Shadorians. I swear I created it in like July. You can go back and track it. But this is the reason why we wanted to see Shador play against a team like Bears, right? Just like, what did we learn about Oregon yesterday? Nothing, because you knew they were going to steamroll James Madison. Same thing. There's a reason why his best games are against the Tennessee Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders. We want to see him against the Bears. We want to see him against the Bills. We want to see him against the Niners. We want to see him against teams who have something to play for. They're going 100%. They're trying to take you down because they need the W. And yes, he played a bad game, but you still saw some good things. You still saw that he was able to stick to his mechanics. He was able to step up into the pocket and not run backwards. You could see he's getting better at going through progressions. You could see he's getting better at getting the ball out of his hands on time. Granted, he got sacked 5 times, but hey, it ain't 10. You know what I mean? So you see the positive things of what we could possibly have in a quarterback. And now you want to see, can he continue that? Can he get better and better against better competition? So even though, I mean, if you thought the Browns were going to beat the Bears, I'm sorry, but you're just looking for the little things. You're looking for the young talent to get better. You're looking for Ronnie Hickman as his first year as the starting strong safety to show you that he can be the safety next year and beyond. You're looking on obviously from the continued growth of Schlesinger. You're looking for the slight improvements from a Mason Graham. You're just looking for itty bitty Isaiah Bond has shown us that he's not Anthony Schwartz. Just little things you're looking for that we can build on as an organization.
All right, Brian, what about you, bud?
Well, I mean, you saw my face. You got to watch my reaction through the whole game, Fatty. You already know how I feel. But for those of you out there who don't, I mean, this game was cooked from the start, right? You had special teams gave up, what was it, a 62-yard pump or kickoff return to start the game.
Yeah.
Fatty just mentioned it. He was cheering it on just so he could rub it in my face. After that, the Browns defense holds, right? They 3 and out. And what happens next? A punt that they land on the 1 yard line. So here you are, Shedeur Sanders, and then there was a false start or something, penalty. So you're on the half-yard line to start your first drive. So obviously we knew where that likely was going to go, right? No matter if you had Tom Brady back there or whatever. After that, your defense gives up 2 possessions of 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you're down 14-0 before the game even really starts.
Yeah.
The Browns had 6 3-and-outs. Ben Johnson was just running circles around Kevin Stefanski. A first-year head coach is running circles around a guy who's in his 6th year. I mean, it was just embarrassing. They didn't even have their starting wide receiver in Odunze. I was fortunate. I told you all Bond was going to have a good game. Unfortunately, that was the only thing that was good in the game. Myles Garrett still going for the damn sack record, not playing defense, not filling the gaps like he should. He's 10 yards in the backfield, and then they're attacking him. As we talked about in the pregame show as well, the Bears are getting 5 yards per carry, and you saw that the whole damn game. They were getting at least 5 yards per carry, so it was just rough to watch. Again, Shedeur didn't have a great game, right? I'm fully aware. I'm not blinded by my love for Shedeur. One of the interceptions I fully blame on Jerry Jeudy. I don't care what anybody else says. The ball hits a wide receiver in the hands. Again, a wide receiver who's making over $1 million a game and has barely any contributions to this year. And I did see you two arguing about Jerry Jeudy. We can get into that later, and I'll give you my points. But this year he has been horrible as a wide receiver 1. And other than that, I mean, again, it was just sad, right? The biggest thing, I looked at this game and I go, my biggest question after I finally settled down and let the emotions calm down a little bit was like, man, what would this team look like right now if we didn't waste 6 weeks with Dylan Gabriel and we actually started Shedeur and didn't make him sit on the bench for 20 weeks? That's the only thing I could say. But, the rest of the team let him down. I mean, obviously the offensive line, you mentioned that Fatty was trash. Junkins just keeps getting hit in the backfield, and it's embarrassing to watch. I tried to argue with some people on Twitter this week about that, and some people are dead set that he's just not that good. And I'm like, great, let's just keep that ball rolling, prove you wrong in another year or two when we actually have a halfway decent offensive line instead of 32nd ranked. But Patty, did Bobby and me miss anything? Is there any other tears we want to shed here for this?
This is great. I mean, I don't have to do anything. I just point and talk to you guys. You guys take it over. I mean, no, and those people that talk about Junkins, when you're getting hit 3 yards in the backfield because your offensive line can't block for you, there's not much you can do with that. What's really sad though is like this past game, you had 12 rushes for 21 yards. He's supposed to be able to overcome that, but it's kind of hard to overcome that when you're getting hit like that. His longest run on Sunday was 4 yards. 4 yards was his longest run. I don't know what to do. This offense is just stuck. It is not good. The defense can only do so much until they give up because they're like, our offense ain't doing shit, so why should we even try? Myles Garrett's just padding his own personal stats right now. He's not even worried about the run game or anything like that. So, and plus, and I'll bring it up, I never thought that the loss of Malik Collins would be this massive for this team, and especially this defense. But it turns out it has been, because since he's been gone, we've been gashed by the run game nonstop.
Here's where I would give you pushback, though. This is every week on Game Time. We preview the game, and part of that is we show the stats. If you really go back to like week 3, that number has climbed every week, and Malik Collins was there. We got gassed by Jahmyr Gibbs, and Malik Collins was there. Speedbacks, Devin A-Chain murdered us.
Yeah,
so like it ain't a Malik Collins thing. It's a certain type of back that has just killed us all season.
Well, and the other thing that I heard people talking about this week too is, Mason Graham and all the rookies, really. I mean, this is the longest season they've ever played, right? So you're looking at even the longest college season would have been over in week 13, right, with the former playoff format. So you're looking at, this is the longest any of these guys have ever played. So you can see Mason Graham is just kind of falling off a little bit. And I mean, that's just kind of to be expected, I would say, especially from a deep tackle.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to bring up the offensive line. And I get a little toot my horn, little toot toot. Jack Conklin, my God, on the injury reserve. I have not. I was a fan when he came in, but when he's been injured, and then they gave him an extension when he was injured, I about lost my ever-loving mind, because the guy has not really been healthy since he's been here in Cleveland. And, Brian, you showed me the stats that you had. I mean, he's missed more games than he's played. He started, has been out. The one thing that scares the shit out of me now is, for the longest time, we actually stood and said, hey, we got one of the best offensive lines in the league. Look at them. Now, it's a shell of their former self. Joe Bitonio's out there trying to give it his all for probably his last season as a Cleveland Brown. But we're plugging and playing people in there. And some people got, ice skates on, just skating right back. Shedeur is trying to do his best to manage that. But I have a feeling today is not going to be good for Shedeur. Is there anything that we could do to help out this offensive line? Anything at all for the rest of this year? Do you guys have anything that possibly could help? I mean, Bobby?
Get back to the screen game. Like I remember once upon a time, even when we did have the great offensive line, right? We were one of the best screen teams in the NFL. And if you look at Shedeur's early starts, what really helped him? Those screen passes. Remember, his first touchdown was a 62-yard play to Dylan Sampson out of the back. Screen pass. Get back to running back screens. I know a lot of people hate Stefanski's offense, but the one thing he's actually really been good at over the course of his time here, the quick passing game, quick outs to the tight end, hit these guys really quick, get the ball in Fannin's hands really quick, get the ball in Njoku's hands really quick. No, I don't think he's playing today, but I mean, just get the ball out of his hands quick. Help him with that. Then that will help you set up a little inside run game, right? Also, stop. Can we get some sweeps? Can we get some toss sweeps? Can we get the running back moving to outside the tackle box, right? Everything doesn't have to be between the tackles. So just things like that.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, and I think you're spot on, Bobby. I've been complaining about that with the Browns and the Buckeyes for about a year and a half now. I feel like we just run up the middle, like use your speed. I mean, part of it I think is going to be, I think what Shedeur needs to work on is to, even when we're down 14 points or whatever, like, stop trying to hit the home run on every pass, right? Quit trying to go for the deep ball every time. Some of those intermediate passes that are wide open, just to move the chains, like sometimes he needs to just focus on those and not just hold the ball and pat the ball until, he can make some big splash play. I think that can help. And I don't know if either of you can give me any clarity, but if I don't see, Teller is questionable this week, so he's not out. But I don't know if he's still being punished or whatever by Stefanski.
He's still being punished.
He'll be out.
He'll be out today. They think that he has not been good this year.
Yeah. And his wife's Twitter fingers.
She is a
Oh,
saint. You stop
She is,
that.
and she's awesome. She's
um,
awesome.
no, but I think the way they're looking at him right now is he's in the last year of his contract, and they're trying to see what they have in Jenkins, who they picked up, and who they think is younger. And you can stop, but I agree. I mean, I don't but that's the thing that we get pissed off about is they're doing this to veterans that have been really good here, who know their role here, but yet they can't hold anybody else accountable. We'll get into it. We'll get into it right now. The Rams just fired their special teams coordinator. Other people
well,
have fired. Other people have fired their defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. All right, but yet we're holding out players because what? But we can't fire the people that need to be fired here. Like, I would have got rid of Ventrone. I don't know how long ago. We've talked about it on here multiple times. And I'm watching other teams fire their special teams coordinators. Like, somebody's doing something. Why can't the Browns do anything? Oh, wait. We're smart, tough, and accountable. That's what we are. Smart, tough, and accountable. Yeah, bullshit. All right, go ahead, Brian. You wanted to rebuttal me.
no, I was trying to get you. I had one more point on the offensive line before we got too
Go
off
ahead.
the track, but it does kind of feed in with this whole accountability thing, and one of my points about Mr. Andrew Berry and his wonderful roster management. What you said, I don't know what Kevin Stefanski's affinity is for his loyalty to his coordinators. We saw it with Joe Woods for multiple years when Joe Woods was horrible, right? Everybody was like, man, there's so much talent on this defense, and we watched it time and time again where Joe Woods would just have a horrible play, like a horrible game. I'm no defensive coordinator. I don't even know, but all the experts said the same thing, right? When all the experts say the same thing, it's pretty cut and dry, right? So he did that with him, and now it seems he's doing the same thing with Bubba. And it's like, dude, how many games have we lost or just not even had a chance in because of our special teams? It just keeps adding up higher and higher. The thing that I wanted to touch on with the offensive line before, it just kind of goes into the same thing with the accountability, right? So here you are, you bring in a guy in Garrett Dellinger last week who, off the streets or whatever, and he ends up being the one best grade on both pass blocking and run blocking out of all the guards on our team last week. And what do we do with that guy? Oh, we dump him off. We still have Jenkins, and we still have Zach Zinner, who can't even be active on game days when we need him, healthy scratch. But we dump him off to bring back Jamari Thrash, our 15th or 16th short wide receiver who we don't need. We bring him back, so then the Tennessee Titans grab Garrett Dillinger right away. They go, "Oh, thank you. You just showed us a great player, potential great player. We'll pick him up. Sure, we'll have him on our team." And then what does Mr. Berry do? After letting go of a guy who was better than anybody else on this team for one game, let's not see what he has going on. Let's just let him walk and hope we can sneak him back in because we need Jamari Thrash on this team. What does he do? He goes and gets Wesley French. And you probably don't know who Wesley French is. If you do, it's only because you saw the picture from the Indianapolis Colts of French and Fries standing back to back on the sidelines from the Colts years ago. This man has had 3 years of numbers, okay? 3 years Mr. Wesley French has played in the NFL, and all his grades are worse than what you saw last week from Garrett Dillinger. So I think that Mr. Berry, Mr. Expert, let's keep him around because he had one decent draft, screwed that up again. Like, it's the bottom of the roster stuff that people don't keep their eyes on, right? I think it's all we're focused on is what's sexy, right? Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson and what keeps the headlines. But like these little moves at the bottom of the roster, like this is part of the reason why our special team sucks so bad is because he can't even manage the top of the roster and he completely screws up the bottom of the roster. End of rant. I'll let you guys go on. Sorry.
All right, Bobby, it's your turn. Shit, we got our stuff out. It's your turn now.
All right, on the Bubba front, I'm 100% with you guys. I thought Bubba should have been let go after last season. The only thing I can say in defense, and that's if you want to take it that way, is remember Jimmy Haslam, prior to purchasing the Browns, was a part of He's a minority owner in the Steelers.
Hmm.
So when you think realize that's where he comes from, remember the Steelers don't fire anybody. Remember they had one of the worst offenses in the NFL, and they kept Matt Canada around for 3 years until
That's
his
true.
contract ran out. So if he learned from that model, and even go back to remember things had to get catastrophic before he fired Hugh Jackson, right? And so
Yeah, that
that's
was
just
just
Jimmy's mo. He doesn't fire people mid-season. He waits at least to the end of the season. Um, with the Dillinger thing, I agree 100% with Brian. Like he just we always as Browns fans we have this saying that him and Kevin are trying to out be the smartest people in the room or smarter. I disagree with that as a whole, but in this instance, it kind of fits. He tried to Jedi, do the Jedi mind trick with the roster, and Tennessee said, "Hey, I got you." So that when he lost, and I give you that was a yeah. What are you doing moment? But overall, like I would pose a question to you both. Like, how long did it really take you to get good at what you do? If you think about it,
I
and
told
this,
you on your
I,
show.
I know you answered,
I came in
but
hot. I
but
came in that good.
but we got to realize Andrew Berry was a first time GM. He was the youngest GM in the league when he came in.
I
Uh,
think just hold on. One thing, I think what screwed this whole thing up to begin with
mm,
is normally a GM gets to hire his head coach. Normally.
true, also
And
true.
they hired in Stefanski and then brought in Barry. And I
Yes,
think that's where everything kind of went like haywire right at the beginning. And it's like, how do you do that? And they keep saying they're on the same page, but
right,
there's things that they're doing that are not on the same page.
right,
There are, having to fire your offensive coordinator to bring in Dorsey
right.
for Deshaun Watson. That wasn't a Stefanski move. That came from
No,
somebody else. So
exactly.
so you're not on the same page to begin with. And
Yeah,
if we do keep one of them, I'm leaning towards you, Bobby. You got to keep Andrew Barry and let him
right,
bring in his coach
right,
and his regime that he wants.
right.
Okay,
And not
now
to
go ahead.
mention, you have this made up position that this baseball dude is in, and nobody knows what the hell he does.
We still don't know.
Exactly, and he's gone. We have no idea what he did. And like, okay, so does the GM answer to him? Is he like what? We had no clue what's going on. So you got that, yeah. Just now that the quote unquote house, I guess, is clean with him gone.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I don't know when did like the GM's job just become about like the draft? Everybody harps, oh, he can't draft, can't draft, can't draft. But other moves he made, and this is where I give Brian some pushback. You can say the bottom of the roster, but the bottom of the roster is kind of like again. I'll point to Ronnie Hickman. That's Barry pickup. Devin Bush. That's Barry pickup. Um, to keep going. Basically, 90% of the defense are all Barry's kick that we all love. And as far as he hasn't got his receiver. He didn't. Hey, the line got old overnight. Nobody expected that. And we went from having one of the best lines in the league to oh damn, Wyatt Teller is really like, and it kind of just had like they fell off this cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it takes time to look at the best teams in the league. Like Kansas City's line went from best in the league to trash, and it cost them 2 Super Bowls. Like you say, it was due to injury. They lost guys late in the season. But same thing. And look at them now. Like the Bears line, they picked up one of Kansas City's free agents. Is that GM terrible because he let one of the best linemen walk? Like it's a measurable thing. And again, I'll point to history. Like we would all consider Ozzie Newsome one of the best GMs ever. Who did he learn from? Bill Belichick, who we would also consider one of the best GMs ever. Between the two of the best GMs ever, name me the Hall of Fame wide receiver that they drafted. I will wait. You can't find one
I
between the two.
oh yeah.
Name me right. Besides, if Bill Belichick doesn't draft Tom Brady, which who knew Tom Brady would be Tom Brady, right? And with Ozzy again, best 2 moves in his life, Lamar when he's on his way out of the door, and Jonathan Ogden early as far as offense. So it's like when you look at the Rams, if they don't win the Super Bowl, how does that F them picks thing
Oh yeah.
work out now? It's just it's lucky that like he made the right moves at the time. They just didn't work out.
I think what it is, Bobby, and like you and I talked about it on Game Time.
Yeah.
I think what it is as Browns fans,
Mhm.
we are so hung up on the draft because that is our Super Bowl. And but the thing is though, is I understand like there's things that he has done, but there's also things that he has completely missed on, like Jedrick
Yes.
Wills, completely missed on. Like you can do 1 year of missing, like, oh shit, I missed the first round draft. Okay. Pick it up on the back end. Like this year, we all agree that he had a great draft this year.
Yeah.
We all agree. All his rookies are actually performing at a high level and look like they're going to be staples of the Cleveland Browns from here on out. But when you're missing on certain things and people that are not here anymore, that's when it's like, okay, come on, man. Like you cannot miss on first and second round picks. You can't, because if
Was
you
it
do,
a miss or it didn't just work out? Because where was Wills ranked among tackles in that draft?
okay, there was 4 of them.
Right, but where
And
was he ranked?
Hold on. And all 4 of them were ranked in the first round.
No, I mean as at the position. Where was he ranked?
As right tackle, he was ranked first, not at
Oh.
left tackle.
Overall, he was the second best tackle in the draft.
I get
picked
that.
second.
But that's also a scouting thing. It's not just Andrew Berry, it's the scouts too that are missing on this. And guess what? They answer to everybody else in that organization.
But that's what I say. Is it a miss or is it didn't work? If you take the second best tackle, second, because the first tackle was gone, who by the way also didn't work, flamed out.
Yeah, but the other two that came behind, that came behind are Pro Bowls, though. That's the thing.
Right. But again, where are you going to take? You're going to take the second best tackle or you're going to take the third best tackle?
Well, that's what
I'm saying. Is it a miss or is it didn't work out?
That's his job, though. He's supposed to be the one that knows which one is supposed to work out. That's why he gets paid all those millions of dollars, right? Like, we're not, me and you are not picking. Mel Kiper is not picking, but, if we're just going to go off what rankings of everybody that does mock drafts does, then why is Andrew Berry getting paid so much? Why don't they just hire Bobby G? And they
should. It really should, because
you could do it for half the. I mean, if you're just picking the best player available as far as what all the consensus is, then that's easy, right? And then if it didn't work out, like you said, he was the second best tackle. It's not my fault.
But that's what the first round is. I don't judge GMs off first round picks because it really is that. It's like John Dorsey is considered. People in Cleveland love John Dorsey, right?
Yes, correct.
John Dorsey came up with the miraculous trade. He traded up to get Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yep.
But you telling me John Dorsey didn't know that Josh Allen was going to be better than Baker Mayfield? So did he miss or again? Sure. What happened there? Right. So it's like you go by.
If we want to talk about John Dorsey, I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole all day long. And I will say, look at Kansas City, look at Cleveland when Dorsey was here, and now look at Detroit while Dorsey is there. Like, there is so much momentum I can get there. But as far as Berry, let's focus on Berry. Yeah. You mentioned how long. The way you started the question was how long did it take for us to get good at our jobs, right?
Yeah.
And that's fair, right? It takes time. Did you, when you are doing your job or when you hire somebody, do you expect them to figure it out within 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we ignore this recent draft, Andrew Berry's first 5 drafts, he, in my opinion, he found 3 starters out of 29 picks. That's about a 10% hit rate, right? Okay. That's not even a good F. That's a horrible F.
Okay.
You might say there might be 1 or 2 other in there. Even if I give him 5 out of 30, that's still a horrible grade, right? Like, that's not good. I mean, by any means. So, I mean, that's and a lot of people immediately want to go to, oh, well, Deshaun Watson and the owner fell on that grenade, which, number one, I don't believe that for one bit. You shouldn't believe anything that people say in public from the Browns, whether it's Berry, Stefanski, or Haslam. They're just blowing smoke and making it sound good, whatever they want it to sound like. But he did have 2 first-round draft picks. We just mentioned Jed Wills, bust, not in the league right now. We mentioned and Greg Newsome, who you guys talked about. Yes, he did upgrade for Greg Newsome, but Greg Newsome was a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
that Andrew Berry made that he missed on. And then, yes, he did trade for a decent. Did he? What did you see?
But before Greg Newsome was traded, he was having the best season of his career. He had a down year last year, and before that, he actually had a good season.
And how did he look after they got Martin Emerson? Every game that Martin Emerson or Denzel Ward did not play, how did he look as a true cornerback before this year?
He was getting beat. Because when you're bouncing back, if the slot is a different animal.
Sure.
Slot is a different animal. So when that's your job, and it's, oh snap, this dude got hurt. We need you to fill in over here. You're changing the two completely. Like, you literally have to change your technique.
Sure, I agree.
Like, and to do that mid game is, it's difficult.
And how's he doing in Jacksonville?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
He got benched like the second or third game in.
I mean, it could be a scheme thing too. Like I said, he had a good year here. He earned his stripes, and he had a down year. Sophomore slump is expected out of a lot of guys. And this year, at the beginning of the season, Greg Newsome was playing good football. The trade, you can't tell me that trade didn't take you by surprise. Like, what? Because he was playing good football.
I thought they would trade away Greg Newsome just because he was in the final year of his contract, and they weren't going to. Yeah. And what they did is they kind of did a lateral move by bringing in a guy who was already extended,
right.
And so gentlemen, let's get into the Bills game today. All right, we've had enough talk of Andrew Berry and offensive line horrible and all this stuff. Let's start with the inactives for today, because I just got a list of the inactives for today. Denzel Ward out, Dylan Sampson out, Mike Hall Jr. out, Wyatt Teller out, Jamari Thrash out, David Njoku out, Sam Kamara out, Conklin on injured reserve. That's a lot of people out, and there's been a lot of people on the injury report. I think the one that's going to hurt the most, obviously, is Denzel Ward being out again. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he's injured or what's happening with Denzel Ward. But I know David Njoku's got the knee problem. It's the end of the year. What are we going to do with all these injuries with the last handful of weeks? I know everybody has injuries, but it seems like it's kind of sneaking up and biting us in the ass right now, especially with a lot of starters on this list have become injured. Bobby, what do you think?
The same thing that would happen if all those guys were healthy. We're going to lose. Essentially, it didn't matter. Essentially, it didn't matter. But I mean, the one person, if you could flip any of those guys, it'd probably be Denzel, because we know the Bills are going to toss the ball around, right? But outside of that, it's really nothing. Like, I
would like to see Sampson, because I think he gives a little spark.
True.
To help out Junkins, because they're bringing in guys that, like Brian and I last week were like, who the hell is this guy they're bringing in a running back? Because we saw that Sampson was out. I'm like,
right,
Ford's on injury reserve, so who the hell is it playing backup running back? Like, so we got everything else going on today. We got Bills coming in here who are hot. Rushing game. James Cook
is cooking.
Wide receiver wise, they still don't have a stud wide receiver, but Josh Allen does Josh Allen things, guys. And crazy things that Josh Allen does is he can scramble, he can move, and he can drops at least 3. Josh Allen could beat you in many different ways. And right now, I'm expecting a big game from a couple wide receivers. Seems how our defensive backs are down. But one person I want to keep an eye on is Kincaid, tight end for Buffalo Bills. Got to keep an eye on him today. Especially our defense has been kind of suspect to tight ends pretty much the entire time that we've been here at the Cleveland Browns. So, guys, with this offense coming in, what do you expect from this Bills offense? We'll go Brian first.
I mean, they're number one in rushing yards. I think they're putting up 190 something a game. You've got Josh Allen, who, even when the play breaks down, just makes magic with his feet and extends the play and always keeps his eyes downfield and has the best arm in the league. I mean, and you've got the Browns, who you just mentioned are beat up as all get out. There's 18 players that were on the injury report all week. We're down our number one cornerback, our best defensive player, probably our best, hands down, our best person on our team is got his eyes set on one thing and one thing only. And I don't blame him, because what the hell does he care? I mean, it's actually better if we lose, right? So, Miles, go get your sacks, buddy, and then we can move on to Cancun with the rest of the team. Yeah, no, I just think it's going to be tough. The 7-1-6 is going to take over the 2-1-6. Looks like a Bills home game today. Eating shepherd's pie for the game. Go Browns! And that's another thing. Ed mentioned it. We all knew it was going to be not be a home game for the Browns, right? I mean, the Bills Mafia travels well.
Yeah.
And
especially for cheap tickets here. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
for a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a $50 ticket for them to come here and just have fun. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of broken tables in the Muni lot right now. People jumping off, buses or whatever. So, I mean, it's going to be nasty. I think on the for the Browns defense, who has struggled the last. I mean, the Browns, look at how they played against the Titans. I mean, and this team is way better than the Titans. Mm-hmm. So I think it's gonna be a bloodbath on offensive or on defensive side of the ball, if you ask me. What about you, Bobby?
We have literally one saving grace today, and that's if the rest of the guys on defense are motivated enough to try and salvage what could be a record-setting day. That's the only hope. If it happens early, let's say Miles gets 2 sacks before halftime and officially breaks the record, I would hope, even though it's a down season overall, I would hope that they have something ready in case this happens. And if that can motivate the team, kind of, hey, we don't want this to happen on a loss, and everybody, win one for the Gipper type moment.
Oh yeah,
that is our only saving grace. Other than that, I just see James Cook having a day. I could see, I see him having 170, 180 total combined yards. I could see Josh getting about 40 to 50 on the ground. And like you said, us just basically not being able to get them off the field. But I don't think it'll be a blowout. Now, just look historically, we played tough games against the Bills. And we have since Josh has been in the league. Remember, at first it was him and the Baker thing, right? You got picked before me. They kind of go at it a couple times. But now that Baker ain't here, maybe he just wants to keep that going, Maybe just the whole y'all should have took me number one thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't see it being a blowout, but I do not see us winning the game.
Yeah, you guys are talking about the rush yards, and I'm looking at them here from both. There's only 2 games that they were held under 100 yards rushing, and both of those games were 97 and 87. Their highest rushing, 249 against the Steelers. So they're going to come and punch you in the mouth with the rush game. Yeah. I mean, James Cook and Josh Allen are going to do it right out of the gate. I mean, and especially after we've been gashed, the past couple weeks by running game, I'm kind of worried about that. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Myles Garrett gets the record today?
I would say yes.
I don't think he does, but I really hope he does. I'd really like to just get it out of the way, move on.
Bobby, like I said on your show, I want him to get it here in the next 2 games. I don't want that asterisk game.
Yeah.
I want that 6 games. So hopefully we get at least something historical out of this. Guys, what do you think score-wise is going to happen today? It's that time of the game. Brian, give me your score for today, buddy.
I'm kind of with Bobby. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to be a high-scoring game for both teams. I think the Browns lose a much closer game than expected, 28-21. I could very well see. I mean, Josh Allen is kind of a slinger, right? So he takes some risks now, right? So it's very possible that we could come up with an interception or 2, and everybody's expecting this to be a blowout. So whenever you think that's going to happen, it doesn't happen. So that's my guess. Ed tells me I'm insane.
All right. What's your actual score today, bud?
I'm gonna go 27-17.
27-17.
27-17, kind of a late touchdown to cap it. I think it'd be one of those games where it's like it's close, but kind of Buffalo has control like throughout. It's like we're gonna be. Come on, just give me this third. We got to put. It's gonna be one of those where we're kind of. We just need one play to get over the hump, and we can't get that one play.
All right, I'm kind of. God, I don't think it's even. I think it's going to be higher scoring, but I don't think it's going to be too outrageous. I'm going to go 25 for the Bills, and let's throw out a weird number for the Browns because it's going to be a weird day. I have a feeling 25-12.
Schmidt. Big day for Schmidt.
I don't even think it's Schmidt. I think there's like a safety in there at some point in time. Like, let's just throw something weird out. All right, now, Bobby, we do hot takes here. So we're going to get a hot take of the day and a player to watch today that you're excited about. So I will go first. My hot take today, Isaiah Bond gets in the end zone today because it's going to help out my parlay, which we will get into here in a little bit. I think Isaiah Bond catches one deep pass, gets in the end zone today. And my other hot take, give me a Myles Garrett 2-sack day, and let's break this record. Brian, what about you?
So I'm actually, I call. So I'm such a predictor, right? I called one good prediction probably for the whole year, and the Bond having a good game last week. I'm gonna not say that Bond has another good game. I'm gonna say that Jerry Jeudy surprises the hell out of all of us and has not like a Denver game from last year, because I don't think that's even possible with the way this offensive line is performing this year. But I will say I think Jerry Jeudy puts up 100+ yards. One touchdown, maybe like a weird like rushing touchdown or something, but I think he has one touchdown. So that's the wild thing for me on the defensive side. No, I'm not lying. I'm serious. This league is built for parity, Casey. It's like every time you think something's gonna go a certain way, that it doesn't happen, right? Like if the Browns win today, like 14-13, it'll be like, wow, that was a big surprise for everybody, right? But no, I really think Jerry Jeudy's gonna have one game, and then everybody's gonna be like, well, should Jerry Jeudy still be the wide receiver one going into next year? Like, should we just focus on the tackles? It's just that's how the Browns operate, right? We want to lose and we're gonna win, right? It's just sad.
Casey, sorry. I love you, girl. Bobby, what about you, bud?
All right, hot take: the Browns win 13-10.
Okay.
Player to watch. I'm gonna say watch out for Grant Delpit.
Okay.
They've been using him a lot as kind of a box safety. He's been blitzing a lot more, and this season, he's forced quite a few turnovers. So look out for Grant Delpit. Make some plays on defense.
I love Grant Delpit. I love that pick when they got him. I was so excited for that.
Very pick.
Let's see. Bobby also had Jake Paul winning. That was a good one.
When did I say Jake Paul was going to win? Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute.
Here we go.
By the way, I was telling off air earlier, I was like, that was the greatest thing that could have happened for me last night, is just watching him get his jaw broke. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love it. All right, guys, we're at the 3-pick parlay. All right. So, Bobby, you don't have to get into this if you don't want to, but we've been doing it since we started the show.
I'm about to challenge. I'm up for the challenge.
Hey, and guess what? We haven't won shit yet. We have hit 2 out of 3. We have hit 1 out of 3. We've hit 0 out of 3.
Okay.
So we're trying to go for a win today. So Fatty's 3-leg parlay today is going to be a little Bills heavy. I picked James Cook over 87.5 yards rushing. I took a Joey Bosa sack today, and I took over receiving yards 14.5 for Isaiah Bond, which a $5 holla, which we always like to do here, a little $5 lunch money, I think would end you up with $36 on that. Let me double check my math, but I think so. So, all right, what do you got, Brian?
So we're pretty like-minded on the James Cook. I think you could go the James Cook over on the rushing yards. Bobby mentioned it earlier, the rushing and receiving yards. I think you could take the combined, whatever that is, too. But with the rushing yards, that's where I focus, was the 89.5 over on that. I've also got Josh Allen. He's at 34.5 on the rushing yards. He's averaging 38. I think he blows through that like he did against Cincinnati earlier this year. He could get 30, 35 rushing yards in one play against this defense that's over aggressive. So give me that. And then also, I think we're going to be playing from behind for most of this game. We've all talked about it.
Don't you do it.
Well, Casey called me crazy, so I can't say anything else about Jerry Jeudy. I can't triple down on that. So give me Shedeur Sanders. Okay. The over is 175.5 passing yards, which again, like, that's silly, right? Like, this is the NFL. An NFL quarterback should be able to get 200 yards easy. Should, but this is the Browns. Let's not fool ourselves. But so that's a plus 525 if you parlay the three of those together. Last week I gave you a lock was Isaiah Bond. If you actually want to gamble responsibly, a little more responsibly, and not do the parlay thing, which Fatty mentioned we're like 0 for 50 on, I would go with the Josh Allen 34.5 yards. I'm very confident in that pick. Bobby, what you got, buddy?
All right, I guess I got nothing official down, but I'll post. Let's go Harold Fannin, anytime touchdown.
Okay.
Let's take Kincaid, anytime touchdown. I'm with you. I think Kincaid, he'll play a role. And then let's go Myles Garrett over 1 sack.
I like it. I don't know what we'll parlay that later. I did say, so my $5 holla is a $36 winner. So have some fun with it today. Like I said, hey, if you don't want to gamble, don't gamble. We do it for fun. Just trying to do some content here because we really suck at gambling, obviously, this year. Because we're definitely in the negative. We need something to pull us closer back to the positive. All right, guys, we're here at the end of the show. Bobby G, thank you so much for joining us on the 216 pregame show. Welcome to the network. You can catch him at Gametime 216 on Monday and Wednesdays at 2:16 p.m. as he talks Browns, Cavs, and Guardians with Big Mike, who we love. We have Mike on here earlier this year, had some fun with him. Yes. So anytime you want to join us back, dude, you are more than welcome. Love having you on here. Thank you so much. Let everybody know where they can follow you at, bub.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all for having me today. It was definitely fun. Now, hopefully we don't get too depressed later today. And hey, hopefully we're happy to be a part of Network 216. So hopefully we're benefit giving y'all something new and unique. And hey, just look under the name and catch me on YouTube. Just Gametime _ Bobby G, and across all other social media at Audible _ Bobby G. So,
all right. Well,
and shout out to Ed in Columbus, man. One of the greatest voices out of. If you've ever heard this dude speak, man, definitely got a voice for radio.
I love his Break Ed News on the Dog Chug. It cracked me up every time I hear it. I was part of their Christmas special on Wednesday, so it was fun. And by the way, I agree, Ed. Myles Garrett does need to get his own sandwich at McDonald's like Michael D. Perry. I don't know what we would call it, the Saxorus burger or something of that name. We'll figure it out, but we'll get him a burger there at McDonald's.
He needs to talk to freaking Jimmy and get Jimmy and freaking Dan Gilbert in a room, and let's get Giannis to Cleveland. How about you do that, Miles?
I would love Giannis in Cleveland. I'd give up about 6 people in the Cavs roster right now to get Giannis in Cleveland. Not looking good for the Cavs, but we'll save that for a different show. All right, Brian, we're here, buddy. Let's go. Let's get them pumped up.
Do I have to? No, here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Hopefully we get a Browns win. Thank you, everybody that watched tonight. Ed, Casey, Justin, everybody in the comments. We appreciate you all, and we will catch you next Sunday for a Browns-Steelers matchup. Here we go, Brownies. See you. You didn't even set the outro video. Now I got to go set it again. What are you doing, Brian? Oh my God. I gotta find it now. Look at this.
Hey,
Oh,
listen,
The
geez.
Browns is the Browns.
Yeah,
I didn't
Browns
set
is
up
the
this
Browns.
show, buddy. I didn't set up this show.
Oh
You set
my
it up.
God. Here we go. See what happens when this stuff.
That-
My God,
Hey,
there's a
where's-
fatty fail right out of the gate.
Yeah, where's Justin at? Justin, fatty fail. Fatty
Oh,
fail.
I got the
Come on.
picture for it.
Blame
I'll
it
throw
on
it up
Fatty.
later. All right. Everybody have a good game. We'll see you later. See ya.